Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to do a quick overview of sort of what I do, so that way if I post any of my trades or ideas, you at least have sort of an understanding of what it is that I am doing. Um, so I have multiple accounts. My big account is my IRA, which is comprised of all ETFs, and I do some very long-term options. I used to do options trading for a while, and I still do in my IRA, but this account that I post my trades of is strictly for day trading. Um, what I mean by that, day trading is not, you'll see on social media people just pumping meme stocks and showing their, uh, you know, what's it called? Robinhood account screenshots. That's not day trading. That's just buying popular stocks. What I do is I use a combination of scanners, technical analysis, and studies, and other various tools to find entry and exit points. And I sort of leverage volume to make my money. So, what I mean by that is, for a stock to go up or down, $20, that is usually pretty low probability. Um, but if it did happen, regardless of how much money you had invested into it, you'd be making a huge percent return because that's a very big move. But what I mean by taking advantage of volume is that I know the trades that I'm doing are only like 50 cents, 20-cent gains, but that's fine with me because the probability of them occurring is very high the way that I have it set up, and that my volume is high enough that it's still a decent enough return for me that I am, happy with it. These gains happen every day because it's not that crazy for a stock to go up or down, 20, 30 cents, even within the hour. But it's about timing it correctly and following momentum that allows you to make this a successful strategy. Um, I will say that what I do is not for everybody. I would advise you to have, a pretty sizable piece of your investment portfolio in long-term plays or something much more, I would consider safe in the sense that your time of success, like options, like you can give yourself a very wide time period for success, and you can also uh, place different positions to give yourself a wider range of successful price ranges. I would get better at those before jumping into day trading. It's definitely not a get rich quick scheme, especially the way that I implement my strategy. It's more so of a once you've understood the stock market well enough and you have a sizable amount of extra money put aside that you're willing to learn a new skill in and perhaps make some extra income in daily. That's when you can get into day trading. So 80%, 90% of my money is in my IRA, and this account is just for generating extra income. It's sort of like a side hustle for me. um, I'd say that my typical goal is like an increase of 1 to 2% in my account daily, which ends up being about $200 to $300. I'll have really good days where I'll make $1,000, and I will say that I used to have really bad days when I was sort of starting at the beginning, but now that I've gotten better with creating stop loss orders and I've become more risk adverse, I'd say my worst day will be like, $300 loss. I typically don't have a day worse than that. But that's my account overview. Um, Another thing I'll do typically is scalping. So day trading really is sort of an opportunistic strategy. It's not really you out there looking. It's more so you have scanners set up to match criteria that you're looking for, and the opportunities just come to you. Um, the scanners tell you where the opportunities are, but uh, you know, there's a lot of days where my scanners are just dead quiet. There's nothing for me to do, and so what I'll pivot to is scalping, which is very very short time period, like seconds, and very high volume. So I'll be buying like $60,000 of a stock, holding it for just seconds, to make profit, to become profitable. It's not as crazy as it sounds. You're trading on margin, but I understand that to somebody who doesn't day trade, that might sound really crazy, but you get good at setting stop loss orders and you have confidence in your abilities that it's not too crazy for you to do. Let's see. Okay, did a good job of account overview and everything. Let's go over the tools that I use. So this shouldn't be too new to anybody, but this is Thinkorswim. There are similar platforms. I know Tastyworks has a similar platform, but I use Thinkorswim. You have to have it if you're going to day trade or something similar. Like I said, if somebody's using Robinhood, they're not a day trader. They're just a person that's buying stocks that they see on social media that are popular. The other thing you'll need is, let's go to the browser. You'll need scanners. So I use Trade Ideas, which is a very popular platform that allows you to either create your own or import pre-made scanners. It ends up looking something like this. So this is what I look at every day. I didn't make any of these scanners. These are all scanners that have been pre-generated that I import into what's called, I guess, what would you call this? A layout. And then you just import that layout every day and use it every day. So these are all scanners that are constantly scanning the entire market for a different group of metrics, each one. The one that I flat out live and die by is right here. It's called a 5-minute reversal scanner. I have yet to find anything that is more consistent than a 5-minute reversal scanner, period. They are almost never wrong. They can't necessarily predict how much of a bounce there will be. What I mean is if a stock, so like right here, this is a bottom bounce, meaning that the stock has, sort of been selling off, and they're thinking that there's going to be a bounce to the upside, and then a reversal is exactly the opposite. There's been a huge increase in volume, and then they believe that the stock will start selling off. They are dead accurate. I've almost maybe once or twice have I ever seen them be incorrect. Now they can't predict how big the bounce will be, but they almost always predict a bounce. I could not recommend it enough. I have not found anything that even comes close to predicting momentum swings better than a 5-minute reversal scanner. You can do a Google search on V5/VV8 reversal scanner and find out exactly what metrics they use, but I'm not going to get into that. These other ones I do use, but a lot of them are just to support the reversal ideas. Occasionally I'll use RSI extremes or even the earnings, since I'm a big earnings person. A lot of my best wins have come from earnings plays, but for the most part, I live and die by the reversal scanner. Great tip. This YouTube channel called Boiler Room Trading is where I've learned how to day trade pretty much. So they have a website and you can pay for classes and stuff. But they also have a ton of free YouTube videos. So that's where I would start. And if you feel like you'd like to continue, you can pay for their courses. I don't care if you do or not, but this is just where I've learned. They post the scanners, not every single one, but most importantly, they post the 5-minute reversal scanner that I use every day on their YouTube channel live. So you can just go to their YouTube channel, bring this up, and make sure that it's live. Right now it's not, because this is from today, and you can use the exact same scanner that I'm using. And here in a minute, I'll show you an example of a trade I did today using the scanner and Thinkorswim. Is there anything else I want to cover? No, that's it. I mean, that's what I use. I use Thinkorswim, I use these scanners, and then I also have some studies set up here. Let's go back to Thinkorswim in here. So if you just do a Google search on like best studies for day trading Thinkorswim, you'll find a ton of videos and articles showing you how to set up these. Nothing I have is like a secret. Relative strength is a very common momentum indicator. Same with MACD. This is just a volume chart. I would say besides the reversal scanner, my most important study is standard deviations. If you don't understand what those are, just again do a Google search and you can understand what it means if something is 1 or 2 standard deviations away from the mean. But these lines are super important. Like I said, besides reversal scanners, I think they're the most important thing that I use to trade with. These are all just, what are they called? They're just, I guess let me just go look. It's not coming to me right now. Simple moving averages and exponential moving averages. And then also they correlate with the MACD. But like I said, none of these are anything proprietary that I have a secret to. These are all very common day trading studies that you can set up easily inside of Thinkorswim just by looking at a couple YouTube videos. Nothing that I need to teach you here. This is just a simple gadget where I'm, purchasing and short selling the stocks. This is just the news, and these are the bid and ask prices for the various stocks I'm looking at. So if I pick at a different one, it'll give me the chart of that particular ticker, and all this information correlates to that. So that's what I do on a daily basis. Let's go and look at some of the trades I did today. So I'm going to go look at my account history, find some examples. GFL at, looks like that would be 345. Oh gosh, I don't want to draw a line. I really didn't want to draw that, but whatever. Where's 345? Oh yeah, right here. So this drop off here triggered my bottom bounce scanner. So inside of, let me switch over to my scanner here. Oh, it's right there. Look at that. Is that the same one? Yeah, it is. 244. Okay, so this came up on my scanner as a bottom bounce. So I go and I open it up in Thinkorswim and I take a look at it. I can't get into like every single thought that goes into my head when deciding on these trades. A lot of it is just you get better at understanding like certain news, and if it's something that you have super high confidence in, like I would say, if I see a stock taking a huge dip after earnings, yet their earnings were positive, that's something that I typically am really excited about and have a ton of confidence in, more so than just a stock that appears to be selling off all day, or a stock that had some sort of negative news, like some sort of lawsuit or something. There's a ton of things that you learn the more and more you do this. You can look at things like relative strength being really low is another like good support to entering in a trade. MACD is another great one. These deviation lines are a really great one. If a stock ever hits 2 deviations up or below its mean, I'm almost always at least going to throw some money at it. Just go and research standard deviations and understand what it means if a stock price is 2 standard deviations past the mean. It's a very high percentage that there's going to be a bounce somewhat back to the mean. So anyways, GFL came up. Let's see what I did. It appears that I entered at 31.59, which would be right about here. I doubt the stock's volume was crazy high, because that's a very good entry point for me. Sometimes you get lucky a little bit in day trading. Sometimes you semi-guess the perfect entry point. Sometimes you don't get the perfect entry point, but as long as you are waiting for the momentum to swing, that's when you need to enter the trade. So I saw the momentum swinging. We were at 2 standard deviations below. It was on my reversal scanner. Relative strength was very low, meaning the stock was very, very oversold. So I entered in the trade, and I wrote it to, it looks like 32, which would be right about here. You get better at quickly setting stop losses. So like what I did, I can't say without for sure I did this, but I know that I set a stop loss. So I probably entered in at 31.49, probably set a stop loss at like 31.15. And then when I saw this bounce, I probably set another stop loss. But little higher up. So I adjusted my stop loss, basically saying, okay, I guarantee some profits, but also don't want to keep staring at this screen. Let's just keep it going. But then when it reached 32, I was pretty happy about that. I think that was probably about $150, $200 win for me. So I exited the trade. One thing you need to learn about day trading is you can absolutely predict momentum swings and ride the momentum, but there's no way to predict how long that momentum swing will be. Meaning that I can say, not 100%, but I can say statistically there is a very large percentage chance that we see a momentum swing and a price increase from this point, but I can't tell you if it's going to be to 31.5 or 32 or 32.5. So you can't be too greedy when you're implementing the strategy. You need to take your wins and move on. Just move on to the next opportunity. There's an opportunity that comes, you ride the momentum, you leave. That is day trading. You don't get emotional about it. You don't get greedy. It's not a get rich quick scheme. You're here to do a job, make your extra income, and move on. See if I can find one more trade to show y'all. Was there a short I did? I don't do shorts nearly as much as I do long plays. It looks like I didn't have any great short plays today. I had one on ACAD that looks to be about a $35 win, but nothing too exciting. EQR, that was another long play. That was just a few bucks. I did a lot of scalping on Neo. I guess I'll show Neo to show what I mean when I say scalping. So when you're day trading, like with my strategy, like I said, you live and die by the reversal scanners, but not every day are you going to have enough volatility to trigger off many like legitimately good opportunities on the reversal scanner. So typically what I'll pivot to is called scalping, which is you just find a stock that has high volatility and high volume, which means it's constantly going up and down. My favorite go-to is Neo. If you want to get good at scalping, I would say Neo is the best place to start. And it really is as simple as just being quick when the opportunities come and setting quick stop losses. So, when I see, oh gosh, let's see if I can find one that I did. Where's a Neo trade that I did? At 11:39. Let's see if I can find that for y'all. 11:39. So gosh, it's not going to look that cool. It's just not. Because it's scalping, it's like 10 or 20 cents a lot of times. When I do scalping plays, I'm very risk adverse. I do not waste too much time. So it looks like at 11:39, there were some, I'm guessing it was this, it's not going to look like much. Maybe I can get it to be a little better. 11:39. Looks like here there was a sell-off candlestick, so I entered there and wrote it for literally 20 cents. Sold it at 20 cents and took my profits. It looks like off that trade I made 43 bucks. And that's scalping. It's just 40 bucks, 50 bucks, just quick scalps to get to my goal every day, which is like 1 or 2% increase in my account every day. Anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough, but at least now if you see me posting about trades or opportunities that I see, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Every now and then I'll post some stuff that is looking at things after hours to sort of take off. So like a really common thing, like I would talked about today, how I missed out on it was SYSS. Let's see if I can find that. I think that's what it was. Was it SYSS? I thought it was. It came up on my scanner. It's just SSY. That's why I can't find it. So a really common pattern that I'll see, and it's something I don't have a huge amount of confidence in, but I know that it's something that can take off that day, is when you see penny stocks that do this, what's called a gap up during the market after hours. So you can see SSY had this big gap up from about $2 to about $3 or $4, and you'll see these crazy squeezes. I'm not going to get into why this happens, but it's sometimes you'll see me talk about potential like breakout plays. I thought SSY was a good one today, but I didn't get to it quick enough, and then NTN was another one that I was wrong about, but I did end up making a little bit of money on. See this gap up, and they had this breakout in the morning. I actually rode this, but as soon as I saw this very big sell-off candle, I knew it wasn't the breakout play that I thought it was, so I sold and took a very tiny profit on NTN. But those are probably the only other things you'll see me talk about is day trades based on reversal scanners, scalp plays, but scalp plays are sort of worthless for me to post because they're so quick that by the time I send the message, I may have already sold it. And then these potential breakout plays, which is me looking at the after hours markets and trying to find these stocks, these penny stocks that are gapping up. Yep, and that's about it, guys. So I'll see you in the Discord channel, and feel free to DM me any questions or ask me whatever you want.